I've been waiting many years now to play Heretic 2. Originally released in 1998 by Raven Software, this third-person action shooter has just kind of been put aside by the development and publishing studios. You cannot buy it anywhere, and for years even getting it running at all was a nightmare. It is a sequel to the Doom with fantasy stuff game Heretic, obviously, which also kind of had sequels, but not really in Hexen and Hexen 2, but the actual named sequel is Heretic 2 This Game, which changes the game format from first person to third person, but also Heretic 2 is not part of the Serpent Riders trilogy, that being Heretic, Hexen and Hexen 2, each of those having you take on one of the serpent riding baddies at the end of the game, although only in one of those games do you fight a guy on a serpent. Whew, where was I? Right, so yeah, you can buy all of those, even in a handy bundle on Steam, but you cannot get Heretic 2 for some reason anywhere. I lost my CD a long time ago and tried abandonware sites every other year to no avail. Got it kinda running and then it would crash completely. It's a bit of a nightmare. So then the other day I'm on Reddit on the Boomer Shooter sub and I see Heretic 2 mentioned with a new website called the Collection Chamber with an all-in-one download and installer. Not a 1,000-step process just to get error after error. Yes please, I will try that. Oh my god, it works. Raven, yes, Raven Software. Here's their website. You just look at the games the studio has put out. Some of the best games of all time in my opinion. A phenomenal lineup. Classics you can go buy right now. So why is Heretic 2 not widely available and talked about? Is it a poopy game that sucks ass? Actually, no. Raven Software just don't make games like that. Or didn't anyway. They make COD now. Ugh. As you will see in the playthrough, this game is fantastic. So there must be another reason why this game didn't make an impact. I wonder what that reason could be. What was coming out in 1998? Half-Life again. This game you may have heard about released a few weeks after and kind of buried Heretic 2 upon launch in 1998. Despite people actually enjoying it and reviewing it well, Heretic 2 only took about a year of development as well, a small team of about 20 working on it, wanting to take the Heretic franchise in a Tomb Raider direction meets Quake. Even using the Quake 2 engine phenomenally well, it looks fantastic here. But sadly, all that efficiency and quality always gets trumped by Valve and Freeman. Bloody Gordon. So now that we've gotten the story leading up to the game, let's get to the playthrough and see how the game actually is. In both Heretic 1 and 2, we play as Corvus, who is oh geez, this word. Okay, this word is Irish, so I should get this right. Corvus is a she. A she? She. It looks like City, but it's a she. Basically a ripped elf. Lithe, not unlike my proportions, I mean, if he had a bit more jelly on the belly. Okay, not like me at all. That's stupid. In Heretic 1, Disparal, the evil leader of the City of the Damned, where Corvus comes from, banishes us for disobeying, and Corvus becomes the titular heretic. We then grab some weapons, grab our Tome of Power, think the Doom Berserker power-up, but in Heretic's lore, it's a super powerful living book of knowledge. Shoot tons of fantasy creatures and defeat the Serpent Rider. Heretic 2 begins with a cutscene showing Corvus eliminating Disparal. And before being banished to Australia to walk alone forever. Okay, this isn't actually Australia, I'm just going to point that out in case people think that. Sometimes my tone of voice doesn't come across with the sarcasm. So we are wandering alone in the desert until our Tome of Power opens up a portal. So after everything we can make our way home to Silver Spring and help out the other Tomes of Power. See, they are all like a family and our tome hears them crying out in pain because they have been opened by Heretic 2's big bad. So we arrive home through the portal and things are not looking good here.
This isn't right. Where is everyone?
Well, actually the game looks incredible. For those of you who watched the other video, this is the same year as Apocalypse. So, you know, a little different looking. Raven Software just don't do half-assed jobs. I'm sure they worked the team to the bone and I'm sure they were paid accordingly. But good lord, they should feel proud of this outcome. You start with a basic spell and your trusty weapon. The staff handed down from your ancestors. Which was a crappy weapon in Heretic 1 but is now an almighty spear. And I'll be using this through the entire game. It can be upgraded. Kinda reminds me of Star Fox Adventure's weapon. Just a really solid melee weapon. Our spell is a fireball, that red blob you throw, and does the job against range, nothing special. It often doesn't hit what you're aiming at either, your cursor doesn't really line up with it because it has a projectile time. So what is going on back home here in Silver Spring? The elven town seems plague-ridden. Ghoulish sunken elves are breaking down doors and hungering after us. That is if they aren't writhing on the ground in agony, or whatever is going on here. Poor guy. This is a strange cure. Insanity from a disease spreading around. Nope, can't think of anything I can say here. What is becoming a somewhat common thing in this channel is skeletons are great, Hellraiser, farts everywhere. And another thing I want to add, rats are great, and rats are in a lot of this game. There are rats everywhere in this game. Heretic 2, please stop making me kill these lovely rodents. Our Tome of Power, our book who talks with us, is also one of our power-up spells. With a full blue bar of mana, we get powered up versions of whatever weapon we are currently using. So for instance, our spear becomes a more powerful spear that jibs even better. Jibs. Our red blob fire thrower throws an even more powerful blob. Good blobs. What's going on here? You guys playing Balatro? Huh. Jesus. Alright. Oh hey, look, it's Doctor Strange. Our friend here tells us of the infected people insane with the plague. He recognizes us as the Slayer of Disparal.
You know of me?
The Slayer of Disparal. The people, they hide. At least those who've been spared.
Spared?
From the plague. The infected, they are consumed by insanity. The Celestial Watcher has used magic to seal everyone inside and secure himself in the palace. Crush him, and you can cross the swamps to the cure. Stay, and we'll suffer a fate worse than the Serpent Rider.
A fate worse than death. That's pretty bad.
The plague. They carry globes that contain the deadly mist.
Plague-spewing beings are here now. If they trap you in the cloud, you die pretty quickly to this green cloud of death. The next part of the game is more Plague Town with more enemies. These red-haired, skinny, androgynous elves are very like Moira from Overwatch to me.
The state of you.
And around here we get a nice new weapon to try out. The machine gun of Heretic 2, the Hell Staff, is an easy go-to weapon. It pew-pews really good and the Tome of Power makes it shoot laser beams. Really effective for one target, not that great against clumps. Clumps? Not that great against groups. There was a downward staff attack. I really want to nail this. I'm not very good at it. Oh, come on. Around the next corner I roll into my first glitch. Just stuck here, nothing crazy. I can try my new knockback spell. Maybe my rat friends will help me out. Rizzo? Okay then. If this was the only type of bug I'm going to encounter in this playthrough, I would be very happy. Sadly that is not the case, but that's for later on. Let's move on. More swimming sections. Nice fish? Is this fish nice? More rats. Hey guys, don't mind me. More rats. This medieval area with mechanized parts, levers and automatons really reminds me of the Thief series. This was definitely a theme in the late 90s, and I would happily take more of this. Apparently there is a Thief remaster on the way. What did you just say? Bloody hell, look at the size of that rat. That is a unit of a rat. Let's grab a new weapon, Heretic's shotgun. You know the rule of shooters, make sure you get your shotgun down pat, and Heretic 2 does not disappoint. Just like Heretic 1's crossbow, it shoots projectiles out in a spray. Tome of Power kind of juggles purple orbs at the enemy for big damage up close. Really solid stuff. Combine this with the armor upgrades we were getting, you're going to see me wearing little silver plates and things at times. We are tanky and unleashing some serious damage now. And if we get low in anything, there are 3 shrines around all the maps we can find, each giving either armor, health, or mana.
I need the cog piece.
Is that cod piece? Brrr. Oh, cog piece. I mentioned previously the Tomb Raider influence, which obviously shows up in the platforming. It's not a huge part of the game, but every map will require you to get to some higher up area, and certainly if you want to explore around for all the items. Our trusty staff gives us a pole jump for extra leaping power with a fantastic animation. It should be said that all the animations on Corvus are beautiful looking. I just realized now that if you're running an attack, you do a power attack with the staff. You're gonna see me twirling like a fancy man a lot in the footage here. Whee! Oh!
Constellations. Seasons. What is the meaning of all this?
Past the astrology room, we get to the first boss fight against this Lovecraftian lovely here. 3 stages, all dodging stuff, pretty easy peasy. In our kerfuffle with Cthulhu here, or perhaps during our time around Plague Town, we've become infected. Corvus is gonna need to find a healer. The closest place for this is in the city, the other side of the swamp. Let's get to it. Alright. Okay, so things get pretty messy in the swamp. First of all, I start attacking this enemy and notice that the projectiles look like this. This is not how they should look. So I tweak some settings. Whoops. Okay, first proper crash. Restart. No big deal. Nope, entire game is not working now. My workaround, backup saves and reinstall. Okay, we are back starting. Okay, the save files aren't working now. Instantly crashed to desktop upon loading a save. This is not the first time for recording games on this channel I have encountered stuff like this. It is certainly a blow to confidence, but the fact that I kept at it and worked out a way to keep playing is a testament to how much I enjoyed Heretic 2. I have given up on several games for encountering this before, so save files just don't work 99% of the time, especially after shutting down. Well, first I just tried no clipping through the levels to skip to where I was, to keep the same weapon progression so I don't miss anything, but that would crash too. Okay, so I can just load the map through the console and go from there. Start from the start of each map, I'm not missing anything. That doesn't sound too bad, right? All cool, except that Heretic doesn't have enemies dropping weapons like in normal first-person shooters. Wherever you first pick up the weapon, you get it from there and it stays with you and then you just pick up ammo for it. So when I load a map, I just start with the two starting weapons, my staff and my crappy blob thrower, and that's it. So, the workaround for this, I have a load-in for all the weapons, and I only use whatever weapon I would have at this stage of the map. In the meantime, here's me as a chicken.
It's out of power.
See, this is why games need a remaster. Night Dive, are you listening? Are you one of the 100 people who sometimes watch my videos? Okay, let's speed this story along. We get through the swamp, jumping over sludge that eats you up, and fighting swamp things and find an underground temple. Upon entering, we see a statue who tells us that we need the warrior's amulet to progress. We head down further, avoid some traps.
No!
Eventually avoid some traps.
Let's get him, Philly.
Then we grab the amulet and we unlock a new weapon, and probably my favorite in all of Heretic 2, the Storm Bow. Shoot an arrow, causing the impacted area to rain acid and lightning on the spot, dealing damage over time to anyone who wanders into it. The Toma power makes the acid hit harder and look green for nifty neon effects. It's so good. This weapon is so fucking good. If I could have this in every single game, I would. It's in Heretic 1 in this form. Not quite as good. So we get through the underground area and into the worst part of the game, I would say. Andoria, the city of the Sithra lizard people. Nothing wrong with them, I am partial to a lizard man in games. Who doesn't love the Argonians?
Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh no! 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 Nee! 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 Nee!
We fight our way to the center and meet up with Cierna, a delightful Sithra medicine man who can make a cure for both himself and Corvus. But firstly we need to trundle off and grab some earth blood and some other ingredients before Ciernan cooks us up a delicious cure. He also tells us that this plague was created in a laboratory. By bats? Oh god. Check out the jungle vibes of this next section. Vibrant colors and even a new green meteor spell. 3 green meteors that protects us and shoots out orbs of death if people get too close. Or how about this new spell, Eggy? The egg spell, Eggy. Swarmed by too many enemies and in a pinch? Let's chickenify them. Just like in Heretic 1. Look at this is so good, chickens everywhere. We grab the container for the earth blood first, then we fight a giant lizard boss who is fairly difficult if you stay in range. Then we move a bit further into the jungle temple of the Sithra, and under the water we find the earth blood. Then we move. Oh god, these crashes. Alright, let's just take an ad break. See you in. Wait, this channel isn't monetized. I have like 2 viewers. Our lizard healer is not doing too hot and sends us up to the tippity top of the tower to cook up the ingredients and make the cure. Corvus is no chef though, so I'm gonna need some help here with the process. Alright, just let me call someone to help us out here.
Hey,
Why are you healed and not me? Why?
I feared this. Sithra are not like the she.
Corvus remains infected despite taking this cure. That cure was only good for Sithra. The Toma power is slowing the process, but it won't be long now until we go mad with the infection. We have to fight magic with magic, as he said, and go to the insect-like High Priestess as a last-ditch effort. To get to the insect kingdom, we must go through the caves. That always goes well in fantasy, doesn't it? just go around this. Okay. Alrighty then. Having to reboot it on death is quite annoying because it resets all settings as well. And one of the automatic settings always turned on, auto aim. Auto weapon swap, all that crap is automatically on every time. Super fucking annoying. Past the cave, we meet with the Cithra scout who was sent ahead of us. He is on his last legs and hands us an amulet we will have to use to prove our worth to the priestess of the Kitchekrik. Fantastic. Like, look at these guys. These look awesome. I was told the hotel reception is just up here. Oh, fuck. Cue the death montage.
Translate.
Just as we are confronted, our Book of Tone comes in to help with Google Translate.
You will be granted permission to earn the right to see the High Priestess.
Challenge accepted.
So we learn we have to prove ourselves as warriors before we can gain reception with the High Priestess. We need to complete the gauntlet. This section is traps, platforming, a little bit of sparring, and more traps. Final section is an arena fight with a captured gigantic monster, not unlike the goblin section of Rune. This guy is just vibing. Finally, after all of that, we can meet with the priestess, whose magic can perhaps cure us of our plagued condition. Look at those back muscles. Wow. Are you friends with Turande, perhaps? She warns us that we must pay a deep price in return for the cure. Oh, she isn't friendly at all. Let's move. It's boss time. Okay, that was super easy. We aren't killing her though, as we need her magic prowess. So it turns out the priestess was consumed with madness from the plague, and now we get some exposition because she's feeling a little less like a diva. She tells us Morclavin was actually a seraph. Oh, like our ancestors.
That's good.
But he has become mad with power. Striving for immortality for seraphs, he sought out a wicked spell.
That's bad.
But the spell failed.
That's good.
Morclavin alone became immortal and twisted.
Can I go now?
We must confront Morclavin in his mountain stronghold, just like in Rune, a mountain stronghold. Back to the mines, and this time it's way more fun. Why? Ogles. Ogles? Ogles. I'm gonna call them Ogles. What are Ogles, you say? These are Ogles. Look at these things, they are glorious. Look at these little guys, they are amazing. I love these little guys. Sadly, they are also slaves made to mine all day long, and they really appreciate it when you emancipate them. I love these guys. Looking at the lore and wiki, it seems that they are just extremely timid in nature, preferring to hide away in the mountains and away from confrontation. Ah, bless, they're just like me. Be free, my children. Be free, mini-me's. Crash. Through the mines, we get to Morclavin's dungeon. Red-tinged walls suddenly replace the doomy, gloomy caves and ogles. Oh, my little ogles, you don't deserve to be in the dungeon. I swear by Grabthor's hammer, you will be avenged. Morclavin, you have gone too far this time. Torturous instruments and bloody body parts are strewn about everywhere, even iron maidens here and there. It all sings of pain.
Pain. How dare you use that word?
How about a new spell? Farty party windy time. Whirlwind. Traps enemies from getting too close to you and knocks them back, and also damages. Combine this with the Stormbow for a nasty combo to kite. Heretic 2 has some fantastic combat options. You can duo things to great effect. We also have Teleport now, which I maybe used once ever. It scoots you away from danger to somewhere nearby with no enemies. Fantastically helpful, I'm sure. I didn't use it at all. We are now in the final 2 sections of Morclavan's stronghold. The Cloud Fortress is divided into his inner sanctum, but firstly his laboratories, where he cooked up the plague. More poor test subjects, ogles mostly, and other creatures. Some floating in formaldehyde containers, all with looming seraph guards around being as gimpy as ever. These guys are seraph guards, I probably didn't say that already. Our goal here is to push all of the tome levers, scattered around his fortress, which deactivate tomes so we can reach Morclavan for the final showdown. A lot of back and forth with enemies and huge numbers everywhere, searching every nook and cranny for little levers. We get all the final weapons here. The Phoenix Bow is the rocket launcher of the game, looking fantastic and as useful as ever. These are all very cool, but I'm still just playing Legolas with my Stormbow or meleeing up close, with an occasional farty tornado. Morclavan's boudoir is pretty cool. Oh shit, hidden bed elevator? I always wanted one of those. That is pretty cool. Brings us down to a little section for no use, but it's still cool. Whew, I am sandwiched in here. This is a lot of enemies. Finally, we push the last lever to remove all the tome power, but one false tome remains, which can only be cancelled out by combining our tome's power on top. We need to confront Morclavan about the ogles. I mean about, the plague. About everything. I mean the plague at the end of the world, but mainly the ogles. The final fight of Heretic 2 is the toughest for sure. As in Heretic 1, our final guy is a teleporting bastard. He just won't stand still. It's like watching me on too much coffee, he's moving around too much. First just hit him to get him to actually attack properly with the health bar appearing. And then we melt this health bar down and kill him. Nope. Oh no, he's back. What a zombie bastard. Watch out for the splash damage past me. Past me, you are such an idiot. So once his health bar depletes, the defenses surrounding the tome inner circle drop and we can get ourselves incommunicado with the false tome and end Morclavan for all.
Pity when they do not grow into reality. You know nothing of reality, except how to destroy it. This is it! This is the spell of Ascension! Powerless. The plague is no more. Cleansed from you and the lands of Parthoris. The dead cannot be reborn, but Parthoris can flourish once again. As I rise, so must you. Forge the way. Undo the wrongs I have done. That I will.
Corvus is once again the hero, and Silver Spring only has to wear masks for a few months and socially distance. To the reception mobile.
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
For some reason, Metacritic does not have critic reviews up, but I did find some critics' reviews, so let's check them out first. IGN gave Heretic a 7.9 out of 10, concluding that it didn't quite live up to the original's expectations despite being very good. Good level designs, average AI, but the best lighting and third-person utilization of any game ever at the time. I mean, it's better than the first, it just is. I love me some Heretic, but it's literally just medieval fantasy Doom. But Heretic 2 had infinitely more imagination, scope, and fun to it. I don't think Heretic 1 is in the same league at all. GameSpot, on the other hand, gave a very similar 8.1 out of 10, saying it is a league above its predecessors. Okay, now we're talking. There are bugs, you can say that again. Levels are too difficult or confusing. I agree with the second part, and the multiplayer, Oh yeah, there's multiplayer in Heretic 2, I forgot to say that. I have no friends to test this out with, so don't ask, but I'm sure it was fun back in the day. GameSpot said the multiplayer is a bit lacking compared to Quake. Isn't everything a bit lacking compared to Quake though? Doesn't mean much. If we look at some hand-picked user reviews, AeroxCZ, back in 2018 now. First part Heretic is based on first-person mode, so it should be in Heretic 2. Unfortunately, it is not. Heretic 2 has elements from Hexen, mainly mana. Why? Why is it not like Heretic 1? Gameplay is not similar to Heretic 1, it is boring, and final boss cannot be killed. 2 out of 10. Alrighty then, Mr. that name. This isn't Heretic 1, it's Heretic 2. We already got 2 sequels in Hexens that are basically the same thing again. And the studio wanted to shake some stuff up, all for the better here. The gameplay isn't boring at all, and the final boss can be killed. So there, look, I have proof. I did it. And I kinda suck at games. So where do I rank Heretic 2 then? As of this video, this is the most fun I've had replaying an older game for this channel. While also being the most frustrating experience with all the bugs, save issues, graphics problems, and crashes galore. Ugh, so much. When it works, Heretic 2 is a phenomenal game for 1998. I can't believe it was out in 1998. That year was the best year in gaming ever. Graphics that look better even than Half-Life, I would say. Combat that you can approach in varied ways. Fun enemies, great lighting, friction, oogles. Did I mention the oogles? I mean, what more could you want? You want a remaster, and that is what this game needs. Hell, even releasing this properly on GOG would be a start. Try out the link I used to get the game working now. It's rough, but I still think it's worth it. It's the most playable the game has been in years. And should it ever actually get that official release or remaster, then I urge you to try Heretic 2 if you like action games from back in the day. It holds up so well. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope wherever you are and whatever time it is, you are cozy and having a good day. There'll be more shorts soon, as well as a new video next week as always. Take care, and I'll see you soon.